the NewsChannel 5 network. This is Inside Politics.
Hello, everyone. I'm NewsChannel 5's political analyst, Pat Nolan. Welcome to Inside Politics. Today, we continue our in-depth one-on-one interviews with Nashville's mayoral candidates. We're trying to learn more about their campaigns, who they are, and what their visions are for Nashville and its future. Today, we'll chat with the fifth of 7 candidates. Our guest is Jeremy Kane. Jeremy, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
We begin all these interviews with the same simple, direct question. Why are you running for mayor?
Yeah, I look at it as Nashville's at a transition moment right now, and talk a lot about the reasons why my family moved here 30 years ago with Mayor Fulton, and you remember, and what he set Nashville off on a path of, I think really set us up for the last 30 years in this amazing city we live in today. I think we're at this transition moment where we're making decisions in the next 4 years about where we're going for the next 40. I think education, transportation, infrastructure are going to be the investments that really move us forward.
This is your first campaign for political office. You had previously worked as a speechwriter for a U.S. Senator. Was that an indication that you've had an interest in politics and maybe being a candidate most of your life?
I think public service has always been a draw from my father being a minister to thinking that the world revolved around Washington, D.C., and that's where real change happened. But I got cured of politics in D.C. for a while, wanted to get back home, and thought I'd never run for office.
So now you've had a relapse?
Exactly. Exactly.
Did your speechwriting help you as a candidate? You've had a reputation during the forums and debates that we've had of being pretty good on your feet, being able to prepare and express yourself and your thoughts pretty succinctly. Yeah,
I think 2 people have really trained me. One was my father being a minister, being able to stand up every Sunday, and I remember always asking him as a kid, how do you know what to say every Sunday? And he just said, say what you mean and mean what you say. And so that really helped me in my guidance and thinking. And then working for President Clinton, who's probably one of the best communicators out there, really took that to heart and what he taught me.
Now, you've done pretty well in the 2 televised debates. You'd like to have some more, I guess. I mean,
Absolutely.
You're not as well funded as some of the others. It would be important for you to get more exposure at this point?
Right. I mean, I think selfishly we'd love to be out there a little bit more, but I think for the city of Nashville, it's still very open, this race. It's very undecided. I think Nashville deserves it, and Nashville voters deserve another opportunity to see us up all there together.
But as we tape this, you have not been able to convince anybody else in order to do a TV debate?
Not yet, unless you want to break some news here, Pat.
Not at this point. That's a little bit above my pay grade around here. You became a world-class swimmer when you were a youth. You went to Stanford University on scholarship for that. You had dreams of competing in the Olympics before you had some injuries cut those dreams short. Did coming to terms with that kind of what must have been a deep disappointment, how did that help you in learning how to deal with some of the frustrations and things you'll face not only as a candidate but as mayor? Right,
absolutely. No, I think that was a real turning point, and loved every single day I was a swimmer and loved what I learned from it. And it really taught me how to take every single day as it is and not take anything for granted. When you almost die, especially doing something you love, you really come to terms with how every day is a gift, and reaching out to friends, family. And it taught me the right way to do hard work. For a while there, I thought if I just trained an extra hour or trained even harder, that I'd get even better. In reality, there's not quantity, it's usually quality.
You are the youngest candidate in the field. Has age been a barrier for you with some voters?
I think so. There's been a couple of people that want to say that I'll be a great mayor in 4 or 8 years. I've always said Nashville can't wait 4 or 8 years. I may be young at this point, but I've always been young. As a swimmer, I was always told I was too young to compete in the Olympics. When I was starting Lead Academy, people said I was too young then. But I think Nashville has a history of embracing youth. No one told Tommy Frist he was too young to start HCA or Lamar Alexander to run for governor at 34. So I think as people get to know me, hear my vision, that usually goes away pretty quickly.
You spent time as a teacher after college, you even got your master's in public policy. Why did you stay in the classroom?
It's always something that it wasn't the reason I got up in the morning. I loved teaching, loved being around kids, loved being around schools and that environment. But what I really found that I loved was being able to put teachers in a position to do the magic that they do. I love the back end side, the business side, the operations side of it, and really being able to interact with the community.
Now you decided to help found what's become one of Nashville's most successful charter schools with Lead Academy. But you took a lot of risk to do that. You mortgaged your own house. You took an additional mortgage out on your house. A lot of people thought that was risking too much. Is running for mayor risking too much?
I don't think so. I think being able to get out there and share my vision of Nashville, and that's really what I've been excited by and impressed by as my hometown, is really being able to be open, have a great conversation about the future of Nashville. Back then, you know, it was risky. There were a lot of people, especially the insiders downtown, who said, you know, we know schools aren't working very well, but if you come out and do this charter school, it's going to give us a black eye. Now,
we've had a lot of conversation and controversy in this community about charter schools. Obviously, education would be one of your sweet spots, or you want it to be when you were mayor. So what role do charter schools play under a Kane administration? Do you want to see more charter schools? I mean, the school board fights about it every time they have them. They'll soon probably be back in front of the state in a controversy over approving more charter schools.
Absolutely. No, I think, you know, as mayor, what I'd look at as an all-of-the-above approach to education is we need more great schools. And right now there's some phenomenal things happening in each of our public schools. I think my strategy is find the best and help it grow. I'm all about flexibility for our principals, for our teachers, and ultimately about creating that partnership with the new superintendent. That is the most important.
But do charter schools take money away from the regular schools, the district schools, that they can't afford to lose?
No, I don't think so. I think it's how you envision and think about that money. If we think about it as a school system's money, then I think that argument holds some water. If we think about it as I do, as this is our city and taxpayer dollars, and it should be able to follow the child, follow the parent's choice. I'm a believer in school choice. It doesn't matter the type of school, as long as it's a high-performing school and serving kids who need it.
School board has been struggling right now to identify new leadership, both on an interim basis and also on a permanent new director basis. Are you disappointed in that process? Do you wish the school board had waited and maybe gone a different direction on this and not waiting to involve the new mayor when he or she is elected?
I think I was encouraged and just added my voice to the mix 6 months ago to say I thought Chris Henson served in a great role when he was interim between Pedro Garcia and Dr. Register. I thought giving it time with an interim would allow kind of Dr. Register to take his leave, have Mayor Dean take his leave, have the new mayor come in and have a community process that wasn't filled with so much politics. We're in the middle of it now. I think we've got to do the best we can with the great candidates hopefully there.
But they had such dysfunction now and just trying to select an interim choice. Wouldn't it be better at this point you just say time out, let's just wait, start all over again once there's a new mayor here and see where we go?
Well, I don't know that it necessarily depended on the mayor. I'd like to see what the search firm comes up with in the candidate pool. You know, I've heard a lot, especially within the mayor's race, is we've got a great group of candidates and any one of a few would be great. I disagree. I think there's only one strong candidate in the mayor's race. I'd like to see in the superintendent's race or in that pool, if we have 3 or 4 candidates that would be strong choices. They may not be my perfect choice, but I'd like to see what that pool looks like before making a decision or raising my opinion about whether we need to start over or not.
Jeremy Kane is a mayoral candidate in the August election. Back to continue our conversation with him after you watch these messages.